Hey everyone, this is your Niladri sir and today we will discuss something about the starch test and action of amylase on starch. Basic principle would be like that. We know on application of iodine, starch gives blue black color. But say we give iodine and starch is absent. It means blue black color will not be formed. So we can say that if starch is present and we give iodine, blue black color will be formed, and if starch is absent and we give iodine, blue black color will not be formed. Now we have this sample which is a starch solution, that is we have taken starch and mixed it with distilled water. Now in this solution we will add amylase in 1 and we will not add amylase in 1. I will demonstrate, just wait a bit. This is starch and I am placing starch in 2 test tubes. Now my second step would be, when I say starch is absent, that means I have to give here a starch digesting enzyme, that is amylase, which is seen in our saliva. Now when we give saliva on starch, starch is digested, so blue black color is not formed. Now I am giving amylase, that is saliva, into one of the test tubes and the other test tube we will put it free. Say this is the test tube in which amylase is present and amylase will gradually digest this starch. Whereas in this test tube we will not take any amylase, so starch will remain intact and we will leave it as such for some time. So I guess it's 15 minutes, we are done. Now we will add iodine in both of these test tubes. So this was the test tube that was without amylase and this here is an iodine solution. So first, this is the iodine solution and at first I will add iodine solution to this test tube which did not had any amylase. Let me add a few drops of iodine right here. So I have added few drops of iodine right here where the amylase was absent. Now I will put a drop of iodine to the other test tube that had amylase present. I mean, according to our theory, starch should have been digested. So now I am putting drops of iodine right here. And according to our theory, the iodine here should not turn blue black since the starch is absent. Let me repeat this theoretical part. As I said, our theory said if amylase is present, then starch will be absent. There will be no blue black color. This was our second test tube. In our first test tube, starch was intact. We gave iodine, so it should remain blue black. This is our first part. So our test tubes, if we see, this is our test tube 1. In this test tube, starch was present and it should have been blue black color. It is blue black color. This was test tube 2. It should not have been blue black color due to amylase action and it is not blue black color. This is the original color of iodine that was retained. In the presence of starch, iodine turns into blue black. In the absence of starch, iodine retains its original yellowish or brown color. So this was the experiment in which we proved the presence or absence of amylase enzyme in a medium containing starch impacts the starch test. If I repeat this theory, why this thing has taken in first place. So if starch is present, say this was the test tube having starch. In this test tube, the structure of starch is made up of repeating units of glucose. These are units of glucose that makes up the starch. This bond between two glucose is called 1,4-glycosidic bond. And here, if you can see, there is a branch. any bond that forms the branch is actually 1,6-glycosidic bond. In this one, the starch structure remained intact. So it gave blue-black color in the presence of iodine. This was the theory, this is the practical. But what about this? Here also starch was present, but as soon as we gave saliva, as soon as we gave amylase, these bonds broke. Since these bonds broke, starch usually converted into maltose, and eventually it will get converted into, say, any monosaccharide, that is its unit called glucose. The presence or absence of glucose can be confirmed by a separate test called Benedict's test. But here in this experiment, since starch was absent in this test tube, so blue-black color was not formed in presence of iodine. Although iodine was present, but this blue-black color was not formed. So I hope this experiment explains a lot of things. We know from class 6, 7 or 8 that plant stores its food as starch, whereas animals store it in the form of glycogen. Secondly, this experiment could be useful to the students of class 10 who studied this similar experiment in the activity part of the chapter life processes, if I am not wrong. This experiment will be helpful for the students of class 11 the most, because they are the ones who have studied biomolecules. They know what is linear chain, what is branch, they know about alpha 1,4 glycosidic bond or alpha 1,6 glycosidic bond. Since these bonds broke, the malt starch got degraded into maltose, and that eventually broke into glucose. So when we gave iodine, starch was actually not present. This was the main purpose of this experiment. Do follow this channel. This will keep you updated with more upcoming and exciting practicals.